Everybody, JC here with another T&I toy review, and today's review is in association with MarvelousNews.com, your #1 news source for everything Marvel. And for today's review, we're going to be taking a look at the brand new release Marvel Superhero Mashers Micro Figure 2-pack from Hasbro. Now this 2-pack set features a figure of Captain America and the Iron Skull, which is basically the Red Skull in a suit of armor. Now this is Hasbro's basically taken their hit Superhero Mashers line and shrunk it down into these little mini figures, and you can get them in various ways. You can get a 2-pack like this, and I believe they also sell them on single cards, and then you can also get them with little mini vehicles, figure with a little mini vehicle. Now the packaging for this is very similar to what we saw with the larger Masher figures. You've got the image up in the corner that features a Masher version of Spider-Man with Captain America, Iron Man, and Hulk parts. We also have a look at an Iron Man figure, and in the background Loki. On the left side, it gives you a look at kind of how the Masher feature works, and actually looks like it's kind of showing you that you can even mix and match parts from the larger Masher figures with these micro figures. Then the figures are clearly displayed, and then down below you've got the Superhero Mashers micro logo. On the back of the packaging, we have a look at some the figures. So Captain America with Iron Man's body and Thor's hammer, and then the Red Skull with looks like Hulk's hand maybe. Actually, I don't know if that's Hulk's hand or somebody else's. Maybe that's the Lizard's hand. And then up at the corner again, it shows you the kind of how the Masher feature works, and down below it shows you other figures you can get in the line. So Thor and Iron Man versus Ultron 2-pack and Lizard. Okay, so let's get this open and take a look at what's inside. First of all, you get a little catalog sheet that shows you other figures in the line that you can pick up. So among others, you can get a Hulkbuster and Black Panther and Star-Lord and several others, and with more to come. And then it also shows you some of the little vehicle sets I mentioned before. And then on the back, it shows you the larger figures. It looks like we got a new Falcon. Most of these I think are out. And then also tells us that more larger figures are coming in 2016 as well. Okay, so here's a look at the figures outside the packaging. Now, I like the look of these figures. They're kind of fun looking. You know, they're done in the same style as the larger Masher figures, so they kind of have that blocky, cartoony look to them, which doesn't bother me. Again, these are made for younger kids and stuff. So I do like the look of them, and the details on the figures themselves are pretty nice. You know, Captain America, this is his traditional outfit. He doesn't, you know, he's got the red and white stripes on his midsection, and he's got his white star on his chest and his A on his mask, along with the little wings painted on there. So overall detail is pretty good with these little figures. Iron Skull's got his I guess Red Skull logo on his chest, and basically he's just wearing a black suit. Got some little white markings, I guess, to give it that more armored look to it. He's holding a cosmic cube in one hand, and it's just done with a blue plastic. And I like the face sculpt for this Iron Skull. I think it's pretty good. Kind of has an evil grin to it, so I like the look of that. My disappointment with these figures is when it comes to the articulation. So really the figures, you can turn the heads and you can turn the upper arms, and that's it. There's no articulation at the shoulders and no articulation on the legs at all. So the legs don't bother me as much. The legs, you know, these are very tiny figures, but I would have liked to have seen some articulation in the shoulder area so that they weren't stuck in these dynamic poses. You know, both the figures basically have their arms kind of sticking up, and so there's not much you can do with it. So like Captain America, he comes with his shield, and you can attach it. There's little holes on the wrists that you can attach it to on either side. There's also a hole on his back, so you can put his shield on his back, so I do like that. But, you know, he's basically just stuck there holding his arm straight up in the air with his shield. So to me, it's kind of very limiting of what you can do with these. And then Cap comes with this extra hand that has, I guess this is supposed to be like him throwing the shield. This blue effect is maybe a little overdone. It almost looks like the shield's encased in ice or something, but I believe that's what that's supposed to be. But, you know, he's just kind of, again, stuck holding the shield so it's going straight up into the air, which looks kind of silly. So definitely wish they had added some articulation, at least in the shoulder joints, to make these a little more posable. Cap also doesn't really stand very well. He has a tendency to fall backwards because there's no ankle articulation at all, so you can't adjust the feet. So that's a little bit of a pain as well. Red Skull, he has a cannon. Now this cannon is way too big for this figure, in my opinion, again because the arms are stuck in these positions. So you can put it on either hand and you just pop off the upper hand, you know, that's the whole masher gimmick, and then you pop on this cannon. But you can either have him holding the cannon straight up in the air or kind of holding it straight out. But when you do it on this hand, basically, you know, the figure is going to be too top heavy because this cannon again is way too big for this figure. And the cannon, you know, looks like kind of a futuristic type cannon with black and red and some silver highlights. And then you've got this blue gunk. Maybe the gunk on the shield is supposed to be this blue gunk shooting out of Red Skull's cannon. I'm not sure. So these minifigures stand about 2 3/4 inches tall. And just to give you a comparison, here's the larger Captain America Masher figure with his mini counterpart. Okay, and then to go over the Masher feature, so as you're probably familiar if you've collected any of the larger Masher figures, you can take these figures apart. Now with these minifigures, you can only take it apart as far as the head and the upper arms. That's the only thing that you can disassemble with these. You can't do the legs or anything like that. And then you basically can mix and match the parts however you want. So you can stick Captain America's head on Red Skull, and you can give him his Cap's hands, and vice versa. And then you can even basically can put Red Skull's head on Captain America, and then you can even take like parts from the larger Masher figure. So this is hands for the larger Hulk figure, and you can stick it on, you know, these smaller figures, and you can kind of get them on there. Some work better than others, and again, you're kind of stuck in very limited poses, but technically you can mix and match those parts. And if you're wondering, you can interchange the heads from the smaller figures with the larger ones. In fact, at least with Captain America, the head on the smaller figure actually looks pretty decent on the larger figure. And then again, you can put the larger head on the smaller figure as well. Okay, so that's my review. So I think these are fun looking figures. I think kids will probably enjoy them for the most part. They're not terribly expensive. The 2-packs I believe cost between $5 and $6. The vehicle sets maybe a little bit more. But I do wish they had just added some shoulder articulation. I think that would make these figures so much better if you could actually move the arms and they weren't stuck in these dynamic poses. The figures are out on shelves now. We'll have a full gallery of images up at marvelousnews.com. There'll be a link in the description below. As always, leave a comment. Let us know what you think. If you're so inclined, please like the video. Also, if you haven't already, please follow me on my Facebook and or Twitter pages. I'll have links to those in the video description as well. And until next time, I'll catch you later.